you do drink alcoholic beverages, do you always drink in moderation, or do you hold no restriction on how much you drink?
Um, I do drink in moderation, if at all. It was instilled in me growing up to never drink and drive, so that's always, very important to me.
Have you ever driven under the influence? If so, have you ever been in legal trouble from doing so?
No, I haven't, and that's, again, something that I've been very, very careful about.
Would you let a friend who had been drinking drive you somewhere? Even if you weren't in the car, would you let them drive alone?
No, I wouldn't. I've had experience with friends who have gotten into trouble with that, and it's definitely something that I would not be part of.
How serious of a problem do you think drunk driving has become?
Um, I think that it is a problem. The extent to how serious it is, I think it is something that everyone needs to be aware of, and it is something that impacts people regardless of your age. So I do think that it is somewhat of a serious problem.
Why is there no DARE program problem for high school students when it is most likely to be a problem, while there is a program for the elementary schools where drugs are close to no problem?
I don't know. When I was younger, I actually went through a DARE program myself. I think probably the purpose of that program was to have kids at such an early age understand the importance of not getting involved with drinking and drugs, and then therefore it not be a problem once they got older. But clearly, that isn't always the case. So that's definitely something that maybe should be looked into more.
What type of action should be taken to reduce the amount of DUI happening today?
I think that people just need to be more aware. Perhaps if there were harsher penalties for people who, get caught drunk driving or under the influence, that might detain people from, getting into a car.
Should the consequences for DUI be greater than what they already are?
Like I said before, maybe that is something that would be an option to deter people from um, drinking under the influence of either drugs or alcohol.
Does DUI constitute having a driver's license suspended or even taken away permanently?
I think it's definitely something that may have to be considered depending on the situation. Like I said, I have had friends that have had their license suspended or eliminated altogether. So it definitely is something, though, that should be looked at because you certainly don't want these awful repercussions, in a situation with a car accident or, anything like that.
Should bars have rules against certain people, like single patrons and designated drivers, from drinking alcoholic beverages?
Um, I don't know if bars really should be able to simply because um, it is a freedom, although I know bars and restaurants do have the right to refuse service to people. So I guess they would have to work within the confines of those rules and laws.
Recently, there has been new innovations for cars that can prevent intoxicated people from being able to drive. One of these inventions involves a breathalyzer in the ignition, which requires a breath that contains alcohol level below the legal limit in order for the car to start. Is this a good idea to put in more cars in the future? Why?
I don't necessarily know if it would be required for all cars. It's certainly a good idea for certain situations and people that may have more of an issue with it than others. I don't think, though, that it needs to be a global, standard part of a car that should be installed in everything. So,
Well, thank you for your time. That's all
thanks.
questions. So,
No, thanks, guys.
thank you.